Vanquish came out on PC a while ago. It didn't get much marketing beyond a single image being added into Bayonetta's installation folder in an update, but people went nuts over it. I guess Platinum understands their audience enough to know what the exact minimum amount of information is required to get as much hype as possible. I hadn't played the game myself yet, so I was looking forward to trying out another Platinum title when it finally released. I wasn't sure what to expect when I first started playing the game, but when Shinji Mikami's name popped up early on, I knew it was in for something special. A game by Mikami in his prime? That's a good sign. Vanquish is about a war breaking out between Hillary Clinton and an evil space Russian after San Francisco is destroyed with an energy beam coming out of orbit. The war itself is fought inside a space colony with hot-blooded Americans and color-coded vibrators. The main cast consists of an angry, oversized sergeant, a large army of faceless expendables, and Jet Street Sam. The angry sergeant yells and expects everyone to be useless and fail. The expendables are useless and they fail. And Jetstream Sam? Well, he does a bunch of cool weeb anime bullshit. Before going on your mission, you're told that one of your group is a traitor and that it's your job to uncover who. Can you figure out who? I'll give you a hint. He's the only non-generic character in the game.
Burns! Why?
It still has that playful side of them that they had back when they were operating under Clover with Capcom, with titles like Beautiful Joe and God Hand. Games with unique control schemes centered around how you move and evade. I think that side of them has really been missing from the company lately, and I hope that it comes back one of these days. In Vanquish, your non-standard gimmick is Sam Gideon's slide boost. Instead of running, you slide your knees across the ground using a jet boost. Aiming during this activates a slow motion mode, which lets you do some cool shit. There's other ways to trigger it without moving too. They probably teach you more about it in the tutorial, but I skipped that. A little experimentation goes a long way with this game, and I love experimenting, so I never really had the need for a tutorial to teach me stuff. Which I guess is both the game's biggest strength and weakness at the same time. You barely need to use the slide boost to get ahead in Vanquish. In fact, most of the cool shit that you can do are more likely to get you killed than get ahead, which is a shame because it often ends up discouraging people from doing things that look cool and feel great when you pull them off. It's a lot safer to play the game as a generic cover shooter, staying in place, shooting down enemies one by one, rolling from corner to corner as you plod your way through a level. It helps that Vanquish is not even bad as a cover shooter when played that way. The core gameplay mechanics are still good by themselves. The gunplay is satisfying, and the collection of weapons in the game give a good sense of variety, even if the homing laser sucks. I especially appreciate the weapon switching animations where your gun reassembles itself to become the newly selected weapon type. Occasionally you find weapon upgrades which have special effects that stack. Most weapons it just increases the max amount of ammo you can have, but some have special effects, like the rocket launcher decreasing its lock-on timer. You can also upgrade weapons by picking up duplicates while they're at full ammo, speeding up the upgrade process, though it does become a bit easy to exploit once you become aware of this. Map layouts are varied enough to give most encounters the feeling of being different. The different enemy types give the fights variety that it really needs. All in all, it's an alright third-person shooter without even touching the slide boost. With the slide boost and slow motion mechanics, it creates something special though. Boosting past enemies to flank them or drop kicking one at full speed while mowing down his closest comrade in slow motion doesn't get old at all. Throwing a grenade at a group of enemies and then shooting it out of the air as if it's the Unreal Tournament pulse rifle is one of my favorite things in the genre, not to mention the set pieces the game offers. I touched on the map having enough variety, but the locations and changes of scenery are where this game really shines. Some of the stuff this game does are incredibly impressive, especially for a game of its time, like the monorail section where a second monorail starts moving next to and over you. It gives a sense of rush and urgency that you typically get from arcade games, and I think that's what I like about Vanquish so much. Well, that and the hot-blooded American bravado present throughout the entire game.
What do you mean, hot?
The enemy have turned the plasma complex into a lake of fire. Could blow us all to Kingdom Come.
Yeah, any way to avoid said Kingdom Come scenario?
Praying.
Thank God I'm an atheist. Let's go!
You know, I think that shock treatment actually fixed my back problems.
Bet you can get one of those things on eBay.
It's cartoony and outlandish, presented through a foreign eye. Everyone's gruff, and an American badass superhero cool guy to the extreme.
Thanks. You saved the others?
Yeah, they're already free.
They're lost. Those bindings felt great.
I don't believe this.
And it gives this game not just a sense of charm, but an interesting insight into how non-Americans view this sort of posturing. Kind of like how the first two Dead Rising titles nailed parts of American culture by taking it to ridiculous extremes. A lot of the design of Vanquish, the speeded moveset, and the loud, over-the-top presentation present throughout the entire experience makes it feel like a really great arcade game. It'd also explain the length, as Vanquish is a very short title, though with the lack of downtime during play, it is one that is easily replayable if you do want to play more. Is that still something that needs to be said for a game made by Platinum, that you should replay it? Because it's always true. I understand that Vanquish is a divisive game for various reasons, because it's actually easier to play it overly defensive than going in and having fun. It's incredibly short. Platinum doesn't typically make cover shooters, and cover shooter fans don't always mix with Platinum's delivery, but the two mix so well together that I was sad they never followed this game up with a proper sequel. Originally, the PC version launched with a bug that tied frame rate to damage, so the higher your frame rate, the more damage you take. That seems to be fixed now, although VSync kind of nullified it anyway. I never got the sense that it became too hard with that bug, as the game has a failsafe that puts you into slow motion mode if you almost die, giving you the time to escape from danger most of the time. That said, the speed at which I got sent to that failsafe mode on release was kind of ridiculous at times, but with no reference point, I thought that was normal and I was just really bad at the game. Should you play Vanquish? That depends on how you feel about its length and replayability, or how much you like dumb shooters and Platinum games. It's a game that targets a very specific audience, and it's either the perfect game for you or something that just leaves you cold. It's not made for everyone, but it's great at what it wants to be. If it seems like it's your sort of game, you should give it a shot sometime. Anyway, this was AboveUp. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see ya.